Roy Charles Brooks, Commissioner Precinct 1.
Present.
Andy H. Wynn, Commissioner Precinct 2.
Here.
Gary Fickus, Commissioner Precinct 3.
Here.
J.D. Johnson, Commissioner Precinct 4.
Here.
Constitutes a quorum.
Thank you. We have Judy Williamson with the Arbor Lawn United Methodist Church to lead us in prayer this morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Great Creator, Redeemer, and Spirit, you gathered us together on this day. We look at each other with some wonder and great trust. What is going to happen? There are times and places in which decisions are made that are so impactful on the future that the decisions become sacred. The decisions made become hallmarks of what to do and how to do things with greater grace and justice for all. There are historic situations so new that applying beloved old rules without further definition is simply not good enough. Are we in that kind of time and place today? Are you calling us to something more? We look at the agenda and see action items for children, senior, veterans, individuals, and groups. We see action items for the quality of life, housing, health, roads, taxes, relationship among communities, government agencies, and universities. We see multiple opportunities for action involving communications and technology. Give us your positive presence, great God. Save us from being overwhelmed. We look to you, to our history, and to the Bible. We remember that General Worth, for whom Fort Worth is named, wrote in his diary, "We're almost there." We saw the campfires from the cowboys on the Edwards Ranch in the distance. Only you, great God, knows what General Worth and those cowboys and cowgirls said and did next. But we can be sure that it was something that had not been said and done before, and also that it was good enough that Fort Worth thrives today. We remember the disciples in the Bible at Pentecost. They witnessed a sudden, uncontrollable communications event at Pentecost. They endured a public relations challenge. Only you, great God, knows exactly how they managed so much change and controversy. But we can be sure that what they did and said had not been done before, and that it was good enough that churches were born and exist today. In this day, great God, empower us with courage and innovation. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Judy, thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
Agenda announcements.
Good morning.
Mr. Singleton.
I have two agenda announcements today. Revised court communications on page 3 of your agenda under facilities. Item 3, the approval of change order number 1 to Sigma Mechanical. There were a couple of numbers that were wrong that had a net increase of $2 on it, so we fixed your court communication, but the change order was correct. It's on your consent agenda also. Also, the first item under purchasing, bid number 2013-0882, concerning the sale of recycled paper. Those bids were opened yesterday, and in your red folder there is a revised communication. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We have our minutes of the May 14th meeting.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? There being none, please vote. Vote is unanimous. Take the judge off. We have one proclamation today. Judge Whitley apologized that he couldn't be here to present this, but it's a proclamation, a National Missing Children's Day. And let me read that into the record, please. Whereas, according to the U.S. Department of Justice, in 1 year there were an estimated nearly 800,000 children missing across the United States, and an estimated 50,000 children reported missing in the state of Texas. And whereas on average there is an estimated average of 2,200 children reported missing to law enforcement agencies daily. And whereas 58,200 of all missing children are victims of non-family abductions, and more than 200,000 are the victims of family abductions. And whereas the Texas Regional Office, the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, exists as a resource to help prevent child abduction and sexual exploitation, help finding missing children, and assist victims of child abduction and sexual exploitation, their families, and the professionals who serve them. Whereas although the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children's recovery rate has grown from 62% in 1990 to 96%, too many children still remain among the missing. And whereas this special day is a time to remember those children who are missing and give hope to their families, now therefore be it resolved that we, the Commissioners Court of Tarrant County, do hereby proclaim May 25th, 2013 as National Missing Children's Day, and urge all individuals to take 25 minutes to keep children safe. And further, we urge the participation of local governments, law enforcement, schools, community-based organizations, and families in the protection and education of all individuals about child abduction and sexual exploitation, appropriate protective measures, and ways to respond and seek help from the Enforcement, Social Services, and the Texas Regional Office of the National Center for Missing of Exploited Children. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and caused the seal of Tarrant County to be affixed this, the 21st day of May, 2013, and I will move for its approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Please vote. Vote is unanimous, and we have Jeffrey A. Clark, board member of the Texas Regional Office of National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, to accept the proclamation. I will meet you at the podium.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Get a picture with you. Thank you, and any comments you'd like to make, we'd appreciate it.
On behalf of the Texas Regional Office, we certainly appreciate this opportunity. The 25th is the day to recognize missing children, and as in the proclamation, it's just an astounding number. We would like to have everyone, if they could, take a look at what's the take25.org, which is the particular website that identifies how parents can take strictly 25 minutes of their time to converse with their children about public safety. That public safety is categorized by age so that it would be an age-appropriate conversation. But the idea is to make sure that your children know who to contact when they are either missing or separated from their friends or family. But once again, I want to take this opportunity to thank the Commissioners Court for doing this today. We sincerely appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we have our consent agenda.
Move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Please vote. Vote's unanimous. Mr. Singleton.
We have one item today asking your approval for posting of an intent to lease property at the Resource Connection to Health Masters Home Care, Inc. This organization is a for-profit medical home health provider that provides the contracts with JPS as a major home health care provider for JPS, and they want to provide some administrative and nursing offices at the Resource Connection.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve. Any discussion? There being none, please vote. Vote is unanimous. Auditor's Office.
We have one item for the court's consideration this morning, and that is that we're asking the court to receive and file the auditor's report related to the review of the property room of the Tarrant County Constable Precinct 4. You have the constable's response attached. Be happy to answer any questions.
Move to receive and file.
Second.
Motion made and second to receive and file. Any discussion? Please vote. Vote is unanimous. Human Resources. Ms. Glenn.
Move to receive and file the personnel agenda.
Second.
Motion made and second to receive and file the personnel agenda. Any discussion? Please vote. Vote's unanimous.
Good morning, Ms.
Good
Glenn.
morning, good morning. We have one additional item, that's item 2. We're asking the court to approve an out-of-class pay extension for Precinct 2. The court is probably aware that the Assistant Field Operations Director assumed the duties of Director of Field Operations back in March and began receiving out-of-class pay. And so Commissioner Wynn is requesting the extension of that out-of-class pay through August. We're past April, through August, the end of August, and the fiscal impact we're estimating to be approximately $10,500 to the Road and Bridge Fund.
Move.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made and second for approval. Any discussion? Being none, please vote. Vote is unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Glenn. Purchasing, Mr. Beecham.
Members of the court, we have 2 items for your consideration this morning. Our first item is a bid award recommendation for bid 2013-082. This is a bid for the sale of recycled paper. Our recommendation would be to award a per unit price basis, awarding to the high bidder, Evergreen Fiber Sales, selling Gaylords at $25 a piece, cardboard at $115 a ton, and sorted office paper at $155 per ton.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve. Any discussion? Please vote. Vote is unanimous.
Our second item is also a bid award recommendation for bid 2013-068. This is our annual contract for protective clothing. Our recommendation would be to award a per unit price basis, awarding to the primary and secondary vendors as shown in your court communique.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve. Any discussion? Please vote. Vote is unanimous.
Thank you.
Jack.
Thank you.
Any transportation, excuse me.
Members of the court, we have several items for your consideration today. Our first item, we are requesting the court's approval of an interlocal agreement with the city of Fort Worth related to improvements to various signals along State Highway 183. This project is included in the 2006 Transportation Bond Program.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? Being none, please vote. Vote is unanimous.
The next 3 items pertain to improvements to East Rosedale. These are improvements from US 287 to Stallcut. The second item on our list is an approval of amendment number 1 to a local project advance funding agreement between Tarrant County and the Texas Department of Transportation related to those improvements on East Rosedale.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? Please vote. Vote is unanimous.
Our third item is we're requesting the court's approval of an interlocal agreement with the city of Fort Worth related to improvements to East Rosedale from US 287 to just west of Miller.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? Please vote. Vote is unanimous.
And our final item, we're requesting the court's approval of an interlocal agreement with the city of Fort Worth related to improvements to East Rosedale at the Texas Wesleyan University location. This is a sustainable development project that we'll be providing the match to, and that will be coming from Precinct 1 discretionary funds.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and second to approve. Any discussion? There being none, all in favor say aye. Oops, let's vote. All right. Vote is unanimous.
Thank you.
Aye.
In bail bond board meeting, when I hold those, we have to vote because there's about 15 of us up here, so got carried away. Any appointments today? There being none, we have our claims and the addendum.
Move approval of the claims, including the addendum.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any discussion? There being none, please vote. Vote is unanimous. Any briefing items?
You have the legislative report from Mr. Mendez in your packet. If you have any questions, we'll try to answer those. This coming Monday is sine die, but there is an anticipated special session.
Well, hallelujah for sine die anyway.
Any questions
That's all
on
we
the
have.
legislative report? There being none, pursuant to Section 551, 071, 072, 074, 076, and 087 of the Texas Government Code, we will retreat to closed session and return at the conclusion of that meeting to close this meeting.
Good job. 19.
Well, we didn't start it.
That's not the record.
We didn't have a quorum.
That's right.
Come before this court, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.